Welcome to the carefully manicured suburbs of Newcrest, a once sleepy town on the precipice of being a cosmopolitan city. Right across the street from the 24-hour Walgreens is 5135 Moody Way. The sun hasn't even risen yet, and housewife Toya DeBarge has slipped out of the house for a run. But Tuesdays come with a special added task. After a jog through the safe and clean streets, she buys 20 Xanax pills from a Foxbury Institute engineering student. Hopefully, these last her for the next week. The pills make her feel normal while everything around her seems to crumble. If you're wondering why the maid, Elena, is so pissed, it's because the wealthy DeBarge family hasn't paid her in 2 weeks. But wait, I'm getting ahead of myself. Toya is a mother of 5. She just recently had twins. And let me tell you, these twins were an accident. She does not want them, nor does the family have room for another 2 kids. But it's too late to cry over spilled milk. Before her husband and kids wake up, she prepares breakfast and enjoys her buzz. She's so buzzed that she makes fish and chips for breakfast, but she don't really know, she don't really care. While she and her husband Cornelius have all of the trappings of wealth, shit may be about to hit the fan. This is their son Slade, a popular and eccentric senior with an intense love for art and movies. This is Amethyst, a junior and a naive wannabe TikTok influencer with a K-pop obsession. But back to them in a moment. Toya is growing increasingly nervous, but Cornelius wants to act like nothing is wrong. While Cornelius continues to sleep peacefully at night, spoil his children, and indulge his own shopping habits, a growing number of debt collection and IRS envelopes have been showing up at the house. But debt isn't the only thing worrying Toya. She's nervous that after 10 years of helping her husband scam and steal elderly people's credit cards, the police may be closing in soon to take away everything they've achieved. With thoughts like these, the Xanax has been less and less effective lately. Maybe she'll try something stronger? So the DeBarges live in this house decorated by godly games, and it's right next to Newcrest High School, which is a build by Beans Builds. If you watched my last World Tour video, you know about Newcrest's rival, Miller Grove High School. Newcrest has a cafeteria, cute lockers, and an art room. It's Amethyst's dream to get in with the cool girls, Ayana and Denise, and she's realized that Ayana has a crush on Slade, so she's been bringing him around so that Amethyst can get some clout. Somehow, Ayana and Denise have convinced Amethyst, who is an honor student, to do their homework in exchange for being seen with them, so she's been hanging out with them at the teen center across the street from the high school. They really only talk to her when they're asking for her to solve a math problem or answer a question. So Amethyst is starting to realize that these girls aren't really her friends, and whenever she invites them to go upstairs to the game room, the food court, or the theater, they reject her. By the way, this is such a clutch build by Sierra the Simmer. I wish I had this kind of thing growing up. Look at the concession stand for the movie theater and the food court. When Amethyst finally gets the cool girls upstairs to the game room, they make fun of her for liking games and K-pop, making her feel like a loser. Girl, if you don't get you some real fucking friends. Across the street from the Walgreens is a set of gallery bungalows from Peacemaker LC in the gallery that I tweaked. In the center house lives Aquariana Jackson, and please don't blame me, my Twitch chat made me pick that name. There was a whole poll and everything. She's a businesswoman who gave up her penthouse in the city to move to Newcrest, franchise a Chipotle, and raise her newborn son, Sheldon. She doesn't know it yet, but her baby's father has 8 other children and counting scattered around the world. She's madly in love and convinced he'll propose soon. Good luck with that, sis. Good luck. So across Lake Renaissance is one of my favorite builds, the Intellectual Media Culture Museum. Did it just get meta in here? Yes. Yes, it did. Downstairs, there are exhibits on the 1990s, the 1950s, the 1980s, conspiracy culture, Black American food, women in hip hop, and of course, sex. There's a Starbucks in the back that's a popular study spot, and upstairs there are works of art and even gigantic dildo sculptures that I won't show you because YouTube will obviously blow a gasket. There's also an art room open for community use. By the way, you see this guy? This one right here looking mad as fuck, like you don't want to be in his way? Yeah, that's Detective Thaddeus Santana. We'll be coming back to him. So across the street from the museum is a Taco Bell and more homes. These townhomes house single mother Danny Parks and her 3-year-old daughter Gia. Danny is thinking about returning to school for a nursing degree because she doesn't want to keep relying on her baby's father, a secretive rapper with a wife and kids in Del Sol Valley, to pay her rent. Danny is a good mom and she loves spending time with her daughter and cooking. Around the corner from Danny are a group of roommates who call themselves the Hotties. With rent so high in Newcrest, renting out a house in a group of 4 was a no-brainer. And this build, which the Hotties will be decorating soon, is by Godly Games. Cinnamon Love, Chardonnay Blair, and Delicious McDonald, yes, those are their real names, all know each other from their days at the Lotus Strip Club in Willow Creek. Now they all work various boring jobs. They all like each other and hang out regularly. Chardonnay wants to host a cooking show on the Food Network and publish cookbooks, and she's probably one of my favorite Sims. Cinnamon is an artist and vegetarian. Delicious just wants to get married and have kids. Give it up, Delicious. No, I'm playing with you. The odd one out is Brandy Hendricks, a gamer and loner who answered their ad for a 4th roommate on Craigslist. Lately, the other 3 have been trying to include Brandy by inviting her places, but even when they go out, like to the Planet Fitness in Brindleton Bay, Brandy still ends up by herself. Lately, it's been causing tension in the house. This Planet Fitness is a lovely build by Godly Games, who you gonna keep hearing about in my videos because she be putting in work. The Hotties recently went out to Club Ultra, a build by Alexis Ariel. Meg the Stallion was hosting that night and the girls danced and actually managed to have a good time. They spent time getting to know each other in VIP, but after chatting politics, it isn't clear whether or not this group will be living together much longer. Can you guess which one of these women voted for Herschel Walker? So Club Ultra is on the Newcrest Strip, a controversial area to the many families of the suburbs. There's a really banging weed shop and lounge called the Greenhouse Dispensary, located next to a Chipotle and Shake Shack for those inevitable munchies. And both of these restaurants have custom recipes from Insomnia that make me hungry every time I see them. I don't even eat bacon, but look at those bacon cheese fries. On the other side of the weed lounge is a tattoo shop with a sex shop in the back. Again, I'd show you around inside, but YouTube would blow a gasket, so use your imaginations, but I promise it looks really good. Now, let's travel over to Brindleton Bay, which is only 30 minutes from Newcrest, so it's common for residents to bounce between both places. Brindleton Bay is over 100 years old, historically black, and is resisting the calls of gentrification much more than Newcrest. Down near the docks lives Prince Harp, a bachelor raising his prize pit bull, Coco. Prince works in tech and is yearning for the day that he can make enough money to move to Del Sol Valley or Oasis Springs, where the new money is. He likes to throw a little something on the grill basically every day, and if offered a choice between $1 million and a dinner with Jay-Z, he'd take the dinner. Prince's rental is near a 50-year-old Waffle House in a really slamming spot called the Koi Sushi House. Chardonnay Blair actually loves to come here with her friends with benefits Eve Curry. Eve is a fitness influencer who lives in Del Sol Valley, and she and Chardonnay, who met 5 years ago, are in a never-ending toxic loop of kissing, fighting, eating, getting drunk, and scissoring. Chardonnay plans to break off the whole relationship soon so she can focus 100% on her cooking channel. Down the street from the sushi house lives the Cash family. Darius and Cassandra are the loving parents of 9-year-old Jamal, 12-year-old Bonnie, and 11-year-old Sasha. This family is pretty well functioning and they don't get into too much trouble. They're thinking about having another kid, and all of their kids go to Brindleton Bay, which is a kind of spooky private school only accessible by boat or helicopter, meaning everyone who attends is rich as fuck. And around the corner from the Cash house, behind the Planet Fitness and the KFC that always smells better than it tastes, live the Project Twins. Heatherwood Apartments, a build by Alexis Ariel, isn't the projects, but the children who live inside, they're what some people call Project Twins. Dominique Brodus and Naomi Smalls were best friends and roommates when they were both impregnated by the same man. The man was Dominique's situationship first, and she felt betrayed when Naomi told her who she was pregnant by. She moved out into the apartment next door. They literally had their babies within hours of each other. And they couldn't be any more different when it comes to parenting styles. Dom keeps baby food on deck for her son Noe and pulled all of her old toddler furniture from her mother's basement as soon as she realized she was pregnant. Naomi, on the other hand, puts her daughter Yesenia to sleep on a little cot. I call it a cot, but really it's just a pillow and a blanket on the floor, while she spends her money on wine and home goods furniture. Very rarely is there anything around for infants to eat in her house, so little Yesenia eats a lot of Cheetos, Smucker's Uncrustables, and leftover KFC. Somebody come take this child. After hearing Yesenia cry through the walls one day for nearly 12 hours, the two women recently got into an argument over Naomi's mothering. They got into a fight in Dominique's kitchen, and unfortunately, Dom got her ass whooped. The two women have been keeping their distance ever since, but Dominique is more depressed than ever, and she's trying to convince her baby's father to take custody of Yesenia. Also, she's still in love with him, so she's trying to convince him to marry her, or at the very least, move her into better housing. She knows his family has money, but she's never met them, nor does she know this man has 7 other children and counting. Yes, he's the baby daddy from Newcrest. Who is the baby father? The man in this picture smoking a blunt and taking a shit. Find out in my next world tour video of Oasis Springs and Del Sol Valley. In the meantime, let's travel across the street from Heatherwood Apartments to a house built by MJ Sims where the Blackwell family lives. Tiana and Quan Blackwell have been together since graduating high school about 12 years ago, and they are proud to be new homeowners. They have 2 children named Ladarius and Cash. Unfortunately, the spark is starting to flicker. While they both love each other, they're looking to introduce a third sexual partner into their relationship. While going to buy a car at CarMax, which is a fully functional retail build by Godly Games, located down the street from a PetSmart Starbucks combination lot by Alexis Ariel, the couple met Brandy and began an awkward pursuit of her. But judging by the way things are going, it seems that Brandy is only interested in Quan. Will Tiana be willing to share without getting anything in return? So over across Paradise River, past the newly built Crumble Cookies by Sierra the Simmer, is a Bojangles by Godly Games. As a North Carolinian, I love Bojangles. Okay, Prince Harp recently came here with his on and off girlfriend Kiana Leopard, a recent Brit Chester graduate. Prince has always been cheap, but lately he's been trying to muster up the nerve to ask her to go steady again, but her growing popularity as an e-girl is ruining his confidence. Before he can ask her out, Kiana reveals she's been dating someone new. He's heartbroken, but he's acting like he doesn't care, and I think these streets are about to be fucked up because this nigga is hurt. This lovely custom food is by Insomnia, by the way. Behind the Bojangles is a pristine mansion once owned by the now deceased Gregory and Evangeline Tate. Looks pretty, doesn't it? And don't the Tate kids look like they're coping well? A little too well?
That's suspicious.
They just inherited the sprawling estate and $18 million, but was it worth hiring a local sim to murder their parents? While teenage Gabby doesn't know that her older siblings, Anthony, Ava, and Ayana, agreed to hire a hitman to murder the elderly Tates, Ayana, the weakest link, is starting to crack. She's been talking about going to the police. Her twin, the mastermind Ava, has been trying to convince her otherwise. While Anthony and Ava are trying to decide if she needs to be the next one to die, Ayana is growing increasingly guilty and depressed and spends all day in bed. Ava thinks if she can get Ayana to find a new life focus, she can be spared. After all, that is her twin, and she'd be really disappointed if she had to kill her. Ayana will likely move out to the nearby Sunchase Estates, a build by Sierra the Simmer, if she can overcome her guilt. I really love builds like this that add, like, I don't know, volume to the world. I don't need every lot, every house to be huge. Sometimes I just want to take up enough space so that everything looks filled, and this lot is perfect for that. So Ayana desperately wants to be free from the influence of her siblings, but the for sale sign won't be out much longer, so she needs to decide fast. Lastly, down the street from the Tate estate lives Thaddeus Santana and his wife Valencia. This is not a happy home. Thaddeus is a high-ranking homicide detective with evil tendencies and a venomous temper. From his office, he pores over homicide investigations like the curious case of the Tate murders. The Tates were found shot to death in the square beside Planet Fitness. Thaddeus is sure he's got a suspect, or a few, in mind. Thaddeus is verbally and physically abusive to his young second wife Valencia and openly disrespects her in front of his sons Nico and Rico from a previous marriage. Nico and Rico are wannabe music producers and fashion designers, and as flawed as they are, honey, they are flawed. They help Valencia take care of the 3 babies Valencia has had in the past 2 years of marriage. By the way, you ain't hear this from me, but one of those babies is not Thaddeus's and is in fact siblings with Noe, Jacinia, and Sheldon. Valencia, who has kept this secret for obvious reasons, is reaching a breaking point, and Nico has even encouraged her to leave his father. Will she gather the strength to leave him? Only time will tell. If you enjoyed this Sims World Tour, be sure to like this video and subscribe. Next, we'll be flying into Oasis Springs and Del Sol Valley for a taste of luxury and more drama. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope you turn your notification bell on. See me play with some of these Sims live over on Twitch. The link is in my description box below.